Oh, and look at that. We are in the lobby, even though we're early. Hello, friends. Hello. Let me give you a little intro music just to be like, we actually know what we're doing for a second. There we go. Getting the vibes going for a chill Starfield stream.
Hopefully, these peaceful travelers will find a good home in the stars.
My favorite tones. My favorite
nice.
tones. I
Love
love
that.
it. Hello and welcome, Captains and Explorers, to the Starfield Lorecast and Starborn Collective panel for StarCon 2026. I want to thank all of you for your patience, just as I have our guests here. I know many of you watching today in Zoom with the Zoom webinar. There have been some technical difficulties, not everything coming through, some things launching prematurely, and all the goodies that happen with technology. I am honored to have Jay Duck, I believe he's down below in the screen,
Hello,
aka
hello.
Captain Jay, founder of the Starborn Collective. Hey, Jay.
Hello, hello.
And also Chris, aka Captain CPU, a member of our collective. And you might know his Captain Faraday a little better. Faraday gets up to a lot over there on Twitter.
Yeah, she gets a little out of hand sometimes.
That she does. But we're all kind of known for our captains. But I'm Jessica Starr. I should introduce myself to you. Member of the collective, host of Starfield Lorecast, the Fallout feed, and other things. But you're not here for us. Or if you are, love you, but fix your priorities. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome true royalty among video game voice actors. Our first guest tonight is an actor, singer, and voice artist known for work in animation, television, video games, and more. She's worked on amazing franchises, including Star Wars, Diablo, Predator, but her Bethesda Game Studios work alone could fill a volume with voices in Fallout 3, 4, 76, the Oblivion Remakester most recently, and now Starfield as Lieutenant Jillian Toth. I'm so excited to have Jan Johns with us today. Jan, thanks for joining us.
You are so nice.
Oh my goodness, it's just amazing how much you've done, and honestly, almost as much as how much I've enjoyed it. You're fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. Then we have the voice of villains, heroes, robots, gods, and even the law. He's been in commercials, cartoons, TV shows, and video games with a list of credits that could fill tomes in the libraries of Apocrypha or the booming expanse of an arena. I'm so happy. I had to try. I'm so happy to welcome Wes Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us, Wes.
It's great to be here. I love to see you guys. To be here with Jan is truly an honor. One of my dearest friends, one of the most talented people I've ever met. So,
absolutely. I've loved seeing the two of you together at various presentations, Voicepalooza, all the things you've done. So when you were both able to join, I was like, how are we even going to fit all this in?
I can't imagine doing Voicepalooza without Jan anymore. There was when we first did a Voicepalooza, the first one we ever did was at a place called Magfest. And it was me, John St. John, and Matthew Mercer. And later I did one at a place called AwesomeCon in DC. And the only person who came, because they put us in a back room, it was just me and Jan. Just me and Jan on stage, and we had a blast. It doesn't take much. We can entertain ourselves endlessly.
I love the fact that when we pulled you in from backstage, we already heard you two chatting and joking and just, going into that rhythm. I love it.
You're just talking about what's going on with you these days. Well, the car caught on fire. Oh, yes. Well, my dog caught on fire. Were they near each other? I don't know.
We're excited to talk to you legends about your work and then about Starfield in general. I think we have you for about 10, 15 minutes. Is that right, Wes? Jan?
Yikes. We better get to it.
We had better get to it.
You have as much time as you need. What about you, Jan?
Yeah, I'm open as long as you guys have time.
Oh, y'all are fantastic. Okay, we may change the panel a little bit then and just go for it. So, Jay or Chris, did you guys want to start off with any questions specifically about their work or voice acting?
Sure. I don't know. Start at the beginning. What are you working on now? Is there anything good going on? Or?
Working on this game called NDA. The funny thing is you get together with a bunch of voice actors and we're all working on that same game, NDA. It's crazy. There's always some new chapter coming up with an Elder Scrolls Online or a Fallout 76, which is always fun. I recently have reprised the cowardly park ranger Kevin who is really, I think, everyone in the apocalypse, because I'd be a great big coward running around from death claws and afraid of my own shadow and hiding in corners. And that's who Kevin is. Anytime I can do a protector on, I've been watching the TV series going, come on, guys, I'm right here. Call me. But I had a great time with Starfield. We did several different sessions on that over a couple of years. And what's interesting is I have people who I've gotten quite friendly with, and they say things like, we love you, Wes. We think you're great, but sorry, had to shoot you in the face.
That is quite a thing to lead with. When people mention Ron Hope, that's often one of the first things we hear. Like, you've got various characters known for various things. Ron Hope is known for being the end of a quest.
Well, he doesn't have to be, though. He doesn't have to be. You can actually, and you get numerous chances in Starfield to try different things, but you can take bribes.
I've been through the game at least 6 times now, and I shoot him in the face every single time.
I know. You know what I'd say that is? Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
That's what it is.
It's because it's your companion sitting behind you, and you're like, he's like, not 20,000, I'll give you 50,000. And they're like, I don't like that. You're sucking up to your companion.
Yeah.
You just know you're going to have to get back on that ship, and they're going to be all icy and, oh, I'm sorry. Do I not have enough money and bribes for you to do what I'm asking?
See, you're incredibly persuasive. I think you just convinced me there. If only Ron Hope had done that little pose, that would have helped. But
Ron Hope's a man of the people.
In my Discord, there's actually someone who's just playing Starfield for the first time. It still happens. Plenty of people getting introduced to the game. Hopefully more soon, if things happen the way that we're hoping they do. But he was talking about how, he did meet you and you went to your end. And then another friend of ours, Lior, who's in chat right now, mentioned actually he is safely locked away in the brig in mine. So there are many different paths we can take. We all know your characters. We love them. We loathe them, what have you. But, we love them regardless of how we feel. But we create our own stories with them. And the fact that y'all give us characters, embody them so much that we get those kind of passions and emotion about them. I just,
well, it's like, who do I base this on when I'm doing this character? And it's somebody who has to be kind of persuasive, a little greasy at first, still. You feel like he's this guy doing the greater good or whatever. I started thinking along the lines of like Kevin Spacey and Horrible Bosses and Elon Musk and Dabney Coleman in 9 to 5 and even old Trumper himself. People will come out and will sell you a little snake oil tonic and tell you it's for the good of the people. Do you believe it? Will you follow him? A lot of people in the game, when you're doing the game, in real life might follow that stuff, but in the game they're like pew pew.
It's true. We have our own morality. Sometimes we need to explore other options that we wouldn't want to explore. It's like at the end of a good work day, needing to frag a few fulls just to move on. And
the game lets you do that, so that's pretty good.
That's the futuristic version of whack-a-mole, frag-a-fool.
Exactly. I enjoy it. Less mallets involved, a little bit easier on the hands. Creating a character. We're talking about your Starfield characters now. Of course, you played Ron Hope, and Jan played Lieutenant Jillian Toft in Starfield. And, you've got a huge number of characters going back. Is there a difference when you're voicing a character for a modern game, a game that is, more modern, more part of society, as opposed to, say, Lucian Luchans or Sierra Petrovita for Jan, or some of these characters? Like, what's the approach to kind of finding that character's voice and creating how they act, especially when they're less fantastic, like many of your characters have been?
I think it has to do really with the character themselves coming from within, being true to themselves. Every villain doesn't believe they're a villain. They have their reasons. They think that they're the hero of their own story. And it doesn't matter what time period it is, whether it's futuristic, whether it's Starfield, whether you're going back to the Elder Scrolls or you're in an apocalyptic setting. The fact of the matter is they all come from a personal experience. We, no matter where we are going to be experiencing it through our filter and our prism. And that's always very humanistic, even with an alien type character or something, because you're playing a character to be empathized with. by people who are out there. And you can play an alien that if no one can identify with or can touch, that's fine to a certain degree, but you will take a look at every one of our emotionless characters, our robotic characters, our android characters, or things of this sort. Why do we follow the monsters, the creatures? Why do we have an empathy? Because in the end, at their core, there's something identifiably human about them that we can latch onto. So it doesn't matter where you are in time. That's what's important for me. What about you, Jan?
I mean, dude, you just said it so beautifully. Exactly. It's the connection. Because we are all stars of our own movie. So all these characters, therefore, are, whether they're, speaking or not, or just grunting and making sounds, like they're still emoting, they're still connecting, and they're still experiencing through their lens, right? So
yeah. Well, you are like, I don't know if you guys know this, Jan is one of the best at creature sounds. I mean, there are people like her, Dee Bradley Baker, who can do animal creature sounds, but also imbue them with somehow you empathize and have emotion even with a squealing monster.
You talk about finding the humanity. I'm like, where is the humanity in the female predator, who I believe that you voiced in the Predator game?
yeah, that is a different that is a different thing, because it was more like attacks and like being attacked sounds.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there was still emotion in that for sure. Because like as Wes said, she doesn't know that she's the predator. She's just trying to survive and make sure that, everyone around her survives.
Just like a dog, some people are food motivated, or creatures, that is, right?
Right, exactly.
Even predators.
We're all motivated by the same things.
Well, we talked about a mama bear. You don't want to mess with the mama bear, because the mama bear is protecting the baby and the animals protect the tribe. And for this predator, the people that are attacking her are the bad guys.
Right.
It depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
True. Villains and heroes both depending on your perspective. So we're here talking about video game acting. Has that impacted your relationship with video games? What brought you to games, and were you a gamer prior, and have you become a gamer after, or has it just changed your appreciation of them?
Well, so the only reason why I got started in video games is because of Wes Johnson. That's the only reason. It's
Holy.
true. Yeah, he it was like the night before my audition, was it right? And he called me up. He says, "Okay, this is what you're gonna do. All right, this is how you work. This is how you audition for a video game." And it's like, it's acting. It's just like on camera, but it's very focused. It's very specific, and the more specific you are, the better. And it was a game changer for me, because I had no idea what that was like. That was Fallout 3. I think.
Yeah, but the thing is with you, Jan, is that I've seen you work. I know your work ethics. Jan and I have been in comedy troupes together, up on stage, doing live stuff in front of crowds. We've done specialty work where we've gone into crowds and pretended to be somebody else, and just whatever you can do to find a little dinner that night. We're there. But it's as far as video gaming is concerned. When I first started doing, the first game I ever did was Unreal 2. And it was the battle sounds, like Jan says. I wasn't hired to play an actual character. I spent 4 hours as like hundreds of different people dying in as many ways as they possibly could. Okay, here you're getting an arm cut off. Here you're getting shot. Here you're getting your junk caught in a zipper. So I'm doing all these things for like 4 hours. I was the human equivalent of a Wilhelm scream for about 4 hours. And then the next game I get called in for, because I'd done things like animation for video games for kids. Jeff Baker, who does the Elves and Haskell and all sorts of things, he and I had done a thing called Pigs back for a little group called Interactive for Kids, and I was a frog prince who tells the story, and there was a wolf and the 3 pigs, and Jeff was the wolf. And, you go out, you work and do these things where you can. And then suddenly I got a chance to do some actual character work in Morrowind. I got hired because I died successfully. So then I get hired to do characters in Morrowind. And at that point, video games, which I had been playing a lot of them, were you're playing, you're reading. The voices were in your own head. They were not being spoken out loud. And I think if you look at, there was Arena and
then Daggerfall.
Redguard, Daggerfall,
Redguard,
and
yes.
Redguard, yeah. Redguard was the one just before this, and we'd start to have a little bit of voice in some of those games. But Morrowind took it to another level. And then after that, Oblivion took it to an even farther level. So playing the video games, I did love the games. But when I first started voicing Morrowind, my experience had been with voicing characters for animation and voicing characters for this or that. I was not anticipating the immersion factor of video games. And when I did Morrowind and I get the game and I start playing and I'm putting like 800 hours in, and I'm looking for my flying boots, and I hear cliff racers over my neck everywhere I go. And you start playing at night and say, I think I'll get about half an hour in, then I'll go to bed. And then next thing you know, you hear birds chirping outside and your day is toast.
You don't know if it's the game or your window. And the
Yeah,
light coming in.
it's the light coming in, and you know God's flashlight is shining upon you, and you are exposed. Your day is toast. But yeah, I found that when I went back and voiced Oblivion, I'd spent so many hours in Morrowind that I went there. I could see the world around me. I could see Silt Striders. I could see the Imperial Guards. I could see people. So I was able to make it a lot more personal and really inhabit it in a way that I wasn't necessarily doing before. So playing the games for me was vital in how I adapted to voicing video games. And that's an interesting thing. Jan, you've done stage, you've done film. You know that acting is reacting. It's the people around you. What they give you, you can give back. But when you're in a booth, you're acting for two.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
You're playing the character talking to you and the character that's talking to the character.
It's true. And that is a wonderful exercise. But then part of me would love just the luxury of just for some of the scenes that we do that are just super cinematic. Like to have that other actor there would just be...
Mm-hmm.
Such a luxury and beautiful. I wonder if there could be an experiment. I mean, I don't know. Does anyone know? Are there any games where they'll have a group record at all, or is it all individual?
I think there have been some, and they do animation that way a lot.
Well, not anymore. Not since the before times, before COVID.
COVID, yeah.
Yeah, like some of them, I mean, because that's why I think we've all gotten into this to a certain extent, like, yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on booth.
Knock on both. The family, right? That collaboration. And that's why, just think about this, like having just a director is such a gift too. I mean, oh my gosh, like where they lead us through this entire thing, and they have to know.
We've had some wonderful directors along the way. The directors for Starfield were fantastic. Guiding you into places you go. I had a director for Elder Scrolls Online, DB Cooper, who was wonderful. I used to talk to DB. I said, it's like a dance. We're doing the tango. It really was a collaboration. In a lot of instances, you're bringing your life experience to the role, but whoever wrote it brought their life experience to the role. The director is bringing their life experience to it. A lot of people, as long as you're opening up those emotional restrictor plates and being true and bringing what you can to it, there are a lot of talented hands on every performance that you ever hear.
That kind of direction has to be invaluable in that kind of session, the give and take. And the fact that voice actors do tend to work alone or just with the director rather than in groups like you're talking about, Jan. I can imagine that collaboration, like you talk about doing comedy on stage together, how much fun it is to play off each other. Or as we're talking about the before times and now times we even conventions are done online at this point, right? So, and I see y'all coming in from your booths. So solo recording and stuff. Do you do much of your actual recording of lines in your home studios, or are you going in, especially for Bethesda stuff, still going in with a director and a booth and all that?
These days it's in the booth. Like Jan said, COVID changed a lot of things. We used to be able to, they wanted people to be there in person. Now they're like, ew, germs. They don't want you there.
There are some things where they're like, oh, you have to be
Yeah.
in LA. Like, so there was a thing that I worked on earlier in the spring and then in the fall, and they were like, gotta be here, which, I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta be here. Like, I mean, I want that so bad. So, but like, it's all been like, I think we both recorded Starfield from our home booths, right?
Yeah. And there are some things that I've recorded in Bethesda itself.
Yeah.
They have studios there now. They used to have a place called Absolute Pitch in the DC area that we'd go to. A guy named Chip Ellinghaus, who was just a wonderful guy, and Chip passed away, unfortunately, about a year or so ago. But they had moved their studios into there, and Mark Lampert was the audio director for a lot of that stuff, and Mark helped them build everything to certain specifications. And
he's a great person. He is such a great person.
Mark is the guy who's responsible for taking in Oblivion the character voices, the race voices, and switching things up for Lucy and LeChance to be something different. He's like, this guy's a little different here, maybe a little more macabre, a little darker. Do you think you can go there? And I thought, yeah, I can go there. So we started thinking about it and played it. And the interesting thing is, I don't know about you, Jan, but you come up with an idea in your mind of what this character looks like, how they are, their physicality, because voice acting is a very physical thing, and expressions are on your face, the whole thing. Lucian was twisted and gnarled, and all the stringy hair, and a very macabre type thing, dear child of cities. And then when they finished him, they drew him in this gorgeous body. And women were like, oh my God, he's gorgeous and has a heart of darkness, the perfect man. But you never know what the character, sometimes they'll show you, and other times they won't.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just you create an idea in your head of who they are. You create a little background, you create whatever you can to give them life, to give them something that's real, that it doesn't feel like it's coming off a piece of paper. And sometimes it'll surprise them. And they're like, ooh, and they change things around a little bit. They never expected me to bring them a character that slipped between Scottish and Irish and madness and then dropped it all together and he was malevolent when I did Sheogorath. They just wanted me to do something they thought was sort of like a scary stand-up comedian. Then they said, maybe Robin Williams. And I thought, he's too cuddly for Sheogorath. I'll skip rope with her entrails and flay alive. A different kind of feel, right? So I started thinking, who is funny, but I think might beat the pudding out of me if I got out of line after a night of drinking. And I thought maybe Billy Connolly, the Scottish comedian, who I think is wonderful and kind and gentle, but you don't want to screw with him. So I didn't want to do an impression of him, but he became my spirit animal for my Scottish side. And then for the Irish side, I went with Tom Steck and the folks over at the Irish Channel in DC, you see. And so Sheogorath has a little bit of this, and then occasionally comes into this, and then when he goes malevolent, it's nothing, because it's all affectation. And so that's what happens if you give a voice actor about a week to think something through. Mm-hmm. Most of the time when we walk in, right, Jan, the script is there, we're ready to go, and what do you got for us?
Right, yeah, you just kind of, I'll put together 3 different choices depending on what it is, because I don't want to get married to an idea and then when I go in and work with them and then I'm like, what do you think, if this is our first time sussing it out, you know what I mean? But if it's a character we've been working on, and then I don't know, have you gotten scripts over Zoom ever, in the chat
as we're doing it? No.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Sometimes I've gotten ones that are like, oh, your script's in the chat, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, that's talk about working with the director, actually there with the director in Zoom doing that. Okay, for Starfield, if you recorded a lot of your stuff from your home booths for that, but you did work with the director, do you send the lines and get feedback? Is there any live aspect to the session?
So Source Connect is a thing that allows you, it goes right through your computer. It's like what ISDN used to be, but Source Connect goes directly to their studio. I've had sessions where I've had somebody in LA recording and directing and somebody in Hong Kong listening in and throwing stuff back and forth all around the world, 3 different time zones, and it's all coming right out of the booth. So technology has grown by leaps and bounds.
I want to make sure my compatriots get a chance to talk here too. So, Jay or Chris, did you have any follow-ups on any of that?
I'm enjoying the heck out of this. This is just learning so
Yeah,
much.
I'm right there with you, Chris. I'm more of an audience
there-
member today.
Was there ever a time where they changed a character because of your voice?
Hermaeus Mora was very slow and had clicks and things of that sort when I did him for Oblivion and Skyrim. And then in Dragonborn. So tongue side of the mouth and clicks as he speaks, and a bit of hissing occasionally. And they were like, yeah, it's unskippable dialogue. And some of the comments from people along the way were like, I feel like I got my leg caught in a trap and I have to try to gnaw it off to get away. You can't skip the dialogue because, as you know, gamers sometimes are like, okay, next. We're in a fast-paced world. Nobody has time to sit and listen anymore and absorb the ambiance. So they said with ESO, we want to keep the same feel for the character. He has to be the same character, but we got to try to figure a way to make it a little quicker and a little clearer in some places because you're going to be doing a lot of lore. And that could go on for a while. So this is where I talked about D.B. Cooper coming in our dance. And between us, we worked this thing out where we kept the mellifluous kind of thing about Hermaeus Mora, but it's clearer. There are no more clicks, things of that sort. And it's the same feel, it's the same voice, but it's clearer. And people say, why is it different between? So I have a theory. My theory is, look at Hermaeus Mora, 10 billion eyeballs, 10 billion tentacles. Where's the mouth? I don't know. I don't think he's actually speaking to you. I think it's telepathic. And the reason that the guy in Dragonborn hears it more slurry and clicky and whatever is that his psychic ability to be able to, as a transmitter or a receiver of psychic communication, is not as strong as your character in ESO. Your character in ESO is much stronger in that and gets a much stronger signal and is going to hear things better.
Right. Keeps things moving along. That makes perfect sense how they would change the character there.
Oh, there's a lore reason behind that. That's excellent.
Yeah. Try to find a lore reason or headcanon. My headcanon for Sheogorath, since Jeff Baker did the voice of Sheogorath coming through the statues in Morrowind, is that it was not Sheogorath.
Oh.
See, Jeff Baker plays Haskell. And Haskell is always the one who ends up taking messages when Sheogorath is stuck in the mind of the dead emperor or something or out.
That's perfect. He got to be your body double in a way, like Raffi Silver in the Fallout.
So you've got Haskell who's talking to you over the phone. You don't know who the god is or whether it's the god's assistant. You don't know. You're not going to... Sheogorath isn't sitting around waiting to take your call.
So I don't know if we are going to get quickly cut off with the schedule. We're still on main stage for now, but it could happen anytime. And I want to talk to both of you and just ask if there's anything going on that you'd like to promote right now. I know, Wes, you teach some classes. Do you have one happening right now? Is that something?
Right now, we're in the middle of a class at Theater Lab. The next one starts on March the 5th, and it's theaterlab.org, and only 10 people can get in at a time. It's on Zoom, but it's live, and it's people from around the world take it, which is a lot of fun. Jan and I, on May 2nd and 3rd, are going to be in Sutton, West Virginia for the Fallout celebration. It's going to be called the
fan celebration.
Yeah, it's the Wasteland Jamboree. And we're going to be there. Lear Leary from the TV show is going to be there. We've got Craig Seckler, the Adoring Fan, the Tunnel Snakes. He's going to be there. We're going to do
Starfield character, the Adoring Fan.
The Adoring Fan is everywhere. And so we're going to be doing Voice-a-Palooza. So any voices you want in weird situations, come on out. We're going to have a good time. I think we're going to do Nevada in November. I'm going to be at AwesomeCon in D.C. The 13th through the 15th, and I'm trying to drag Jan along with me to come down and do Voice-a-Palooza.
Oh, dude, I would love to.
And if Jan, if you don't have your own booth, I want you in my booth so people can come and hang with us and party.
Yeah, well, that would be very cool. That would be very, very cool. Yeah.
So that's the kind of sort of thing going. And I'm still calling the Capitals games. And every time Ovi scores, it's another world record. So, I get to be the one who goes, Capitals goal, scored by number 8, Alex Ovechkin. Which is basically the arena announcer from
Oblivion. When I introduced you as a voice of Oblivion, I'm like, do I say hockey? Do I say Imperial Blood Sports? Like, which one? I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Well,
Pretty
they
much,
are.
yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah. And Jan is, anytime you get a chance to see Jan perform, and we got her to sing one time at one of these shows, and everybody went, so good. So good.
Well, you're kind. That's very kind.
That's fantastic. Speaking, Jan, I just want to say, too, with the Fallout show currently happening, the TV show, and the main character, Lucy, that everyone adores, I'm just like, I'm sorry, there's only one Fallout Lucy. Sure, if we go back, there have been Lucys in every game since Fallout 3. We had Fallout Lucy West, and you were the original. Everybody left.
Right.
Yeah, but she's pretty great. That Lucy, I mean, I love watching. Have you been watching the second season, of course?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so much fun.
If they end up with Sierra in there, you got to be Sierra.
Well, that's out of all of the characters, and like Wes, you remember Absolute Pitch where they just handed us a stack of paper and they're like, go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like we all had, and I think that's why we ended up all doing so many characters because they were trying to see where we fit. But Sierra was the one that I feel like is most like myself. So I feel like there's a camaraderie there between the two of us.
I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
If I can't be a Protectron voice in the show, I want to be Mo Cronin from Dimey City. I want to sell somebody a SWAT.
Mow the whole thing, too. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you bring swatters with you. You pack them when you go on trips. So we need to wrap. We are getting the Kermit the Frog, little cane in the background. Although I do have to say, someone said in behind the stage, it was going so well until he mentioned the Capitals. Apparently you have a rival fan on crew.
Oh no.
Well, you either like hockey or you don't, or you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. In that case, I can't help you.
But y'all, I just want to say thank you so much to
Thank
Wes
you.
Johnson.
Thank you
Jan
both.
Absolutely.
Johns,
It's been a privilege for
Yeah.
sure.
and
Thank you for
everyone.
having us, guys, and onward and upward with the StarCon.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your StarCon, y'all. We're going till at least 6. I believe Sweet Pea is wrapping us up with some more stuff. We've got a mod panel. We've got several discussions. We've got some deep history and lore, which is normally my thing, about the history of Nova Galactic and starships. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks, y'all, and have a fantastic day.
3, 2, 1.
Awesome.
Well, unfortunately, we tend to talk. I throw we in there, and Jan's like, "Oh, who's this we, Kimasabi?" Sorry.
Oh, dude, no. Wes, you were so much fun. You make everything fun.
Same back at you, my friend. Hey, even if I can only hang with you cyber-wise, it's fun just hanging out with you, Jan.
Well, over in the booth there, you can switch us over. I'm going to click the end webinar just in case that's stopping the next crew from starting. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. May not be able to hear you after in the green room if it happens like it started. So thank you again so
Thank
much.
you, Jess.
So much.
And
Thank you,
Thank
Captain.
you, guys.
Thank you guys.
Jay.
Show the words another time then. Now, get out there and burn some helium.